Before we begin this episode, a quick public service announcement. There have been reports of raccoons acting crazy. If you see any such animal, under no circumstances approach them and slowly back away. This was the public service announcement. Welcome back to another episode of Modern Minecraft. I've got a lot planned today, so I'm gonna jump right into it. First up, I want to expand the workshop a little bit. There's something I'm really missing. And when that's done, I want to get started with a villager trading hall. Because at the moment I'm really poor and I really want to change that. But before we get into that, I want to share with you my story of my adventure to the south. So my plan for this trip was twofold. First is a discovery mission, to see what was out there, because I haven't gone far in that direction. And second, I would really like to get my hands on some new saplings and some new flowers, to maybe make some dyes and have some different building blocks. I emptied my backpack and I turned south. Not long after that, I came across an ocean. And for a time, I saw nothing but water and the occasional ship. Sadly, I didn't find anything of interest in those ships. The only funny thing that happened was this villager who made a beeline for my little boat as soon as I came close to him. Poor guy must have been real lonely there. I sailed about 5,000 blocks south through an endless ocean. And after I found land again, me and the villager split up. After a bit of walking, I found a big structure, probably filled with enemies. So I approached carefully and got inside with no trouble. After I wandered upstairs, I found a spawner hanging down from a chain. When I got close, a few zombies spawned, but they were no match for my superior bow skills. I wandered around some more when I suddenly got jump scared by one of those zombies. I quickly found out they hit quite hard and weren't easy to kill. So I jumped out of the building onto a tree to heal up. I wasn't planning to give up that quickly, but the sounds coming from the building told me there were more inside. So I carefully broke down a bit of the wall in the hopes they would come out one by one. Big mistake. I got smacked from the tree, fell down and had to run for my life. Sadly, I didn't make it very far. I'm glad I was smart enough to place down a waystone before I entered the building. So I teleported back to the enemy stronghold, grabbed my stuff, and ran back to the waystone to teleport home. I didn't feel brave enough to continue the journey and possibly lose all the items I found on the way. This adventure wasn't a complete waste of time. I got a few saplings and flowers I didn't have before, so that means more building blocks and dice to work with. But still, it was a bit of a meager outcome. The most important thing I learned is that I need to get way better gear. Those enemies were no freaking joke. So next up, I want to do some work in my workshop, because it doesn't really feel complete to me. I got an auto smelter set up, but I don't have any grindstones to grind all the ores down. So that's what we're gonna do next. So I'm back here at my workshop near my smelter, where I want to install a couple of grinding wheels. The idea is, if you use grinding wheels to crush ores, there's a chance you get nuggets of experience. I want to make a vault or something where I can store these experience, so I don't need to constantly go to my mob farm to get some. So what I have planned is to set up the crushing wheels on the second floor, and then pipe the ore down here into the smelter. So I'm gonna get some materials and get started. So for the crushing wheels, nice. So to be safe, I'm gonna make 4 crushing wheels. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but better safe than sorry. So first thing I did is fix the power situation. Still getting power from the water wheels from outside. It had about 2000 SU. So connected up to the power from downstairs. Got more than 50,000 SU to work with. That should be more than enough. So I'm gonna set these crushing wheels up so that everything gets delivered here. So it goes down into the smelter. So we've got the very basic setup here. The idea is crushed ore gets on the belt, gets picked up in the chest, and goes through the chutes to the smelter. So I've got the basic setup and running. Crushing wheels are running, got the belt running. Pickup system is working. Now the only thing I need to do is to separate the crushed ore from the experience nuggets. Because if the nuggets get sucked in here, probably gonna end up in the smelter and be lost. So I'm gonna pick them up before they get there. Since I can't have 2 funnels on one block, I'm just gonna place it one before. And it should be fine like this. So to prevent mistakes, I'm gonna use a filter for the funnel where the crushed ores get picked up. Alright, that's this filter set up. So we've got the last part done. This here is the input chest. The mechanical arm picks up everything from the depot and deposits it up there where it gets crushed down. Now I forgot one small thing. I've got one input filter here for the crushed ore. I need an opposite filter here for this one, because this one's first. I don't want the crushed ore getting stuck in that one. I'm gonna add opposite attribute to the list. Now it shouldn't pick up any crushed ore. Nice, so that seems to be working. Oh, this is so much better than a tedious XP farm. I only get about 10 zombies a minute. Oh man, oh this is so cool. Really glad I built this. So I'm gonna do a little bit of decoration because, well, as usual, half the stuff is floating. Alright, I haven't decorated yet. I got all the ores I had. I just want to see how much I can get out of it. So it's been half an hour and I decorated a little bit in the meantime. Got it all dressed up pretty nice. Got the switches labeled and... well, all the ores are put in, only half of it is crushed. I mean, the crushing wheels aren't that fast, but it doesn't really matter. And this is what I got in experience nuggets. Oh my god. Oh, it's insane the amount. I'm just gonna try and see how many levels I get with a few stacks. 14. 5 levels. That is not too bad. Oh yeah. Level 30. I mean, it had to crush quite a lot of ores to get those nuggets. I figured if I just keep feeding this machine, I'm gonna get a lot of free XP. Yeah, I love this machine. Oh, this is so cool. Really glad with how this turned out. So now I've got my grinder done. I want to focus my attention on a bulk storage system. I've been working a bit on it off camera. As you can see down here, there's some vaults. My idea is to make a bit of a vault room with the most used materials like gravel, stone, cobble deep slate, and on this side some wood types I use a lot. So my idea is to set up a system with belts to transport all the items in my digging machine to the vaults here. Because doing it manually just isn't gonna cut it anymore. So let me grab some materials, then I'll start digging. I'm gonna need a lot of space for all these belts. I did most of the work off camera, so I've got the sorting system with belts already set up. As you can see here, there's a chute coming down from above, dumping all the stuff on the belt. And on every vault is a smart chute, which dumps the blocks in the vault I want it in. As you can see, this belt goes around the whole room and it's connected to the floor below where I have some more storage vaults. I like to store most of the bulk items here that I need for building. At the moment I have close to 20 vaults set up. Should be more than enough. Alright, that's the bulk storage system done. Now it's time to focus on getting rich. My plan is to make a villager trading hall underground. And since I fell in love with hidden doors not too long ago, I'm gonna build a trading hall hidden away from the world. So first step is making a farm, so the villagers can have babies and I can have free labor. Next step is getting 2 villagers in the farm. Luckily there were 2 left at the village close to me, so I boated them over and I dropped them into my farm. With the first baby villagers being born, it was proof that my farm was working. So I'm just gonna leave them alone for now so I can focus on building and they can focus on their own thing. And I built a sliding door to hide the farm from sight. Man, I love making these moving doors with the Create mod. Next up was digging out some more space to make the actual trading hall. I want to put as much villagers to work as I possibly can, so it's gonna be a big hall. There's one trade I like to get right away, and that is the mending book trade. Because most of my tools are getting pretty low. So the next 20 to 30 minutes I spent refreshing trades until I finally got it. It only took me about 230 tries. With mending on my pickaxe I felt a lot better mining out all the stone. When I had it all dug out, it was time to pick a building pallet. I want to continue the rustic look that my house has, but I want to make it a bit more industrial. And I really like the look of tough bricks combined with wooden palisades. So that's what I'll be using throughout this build. When the outer walls were done, I turned my attention to the middle of the room. I divided the middle into 4 parts and started work on one part. And when that was done, I copied and pasted that part using the schematic cannon. If I didn't have this cannon, I would be doing all the boring work by hand. So I'm really glad I can use the create mod for this. So with the middle part filled in, it was time to make it all look a bit nicer. So we started work on the floor. The brown bricks, combined with the brass casings, looks really cool. But I still didn't have a good idea of what I wanted to do with the ceiling. So we tried a bit with terracotta and deep slate, but I'm not 100% sure about this. I'm just gonna leave it for now, and I might come back to it later to fix it, because I'm all out of ideas. Now that I had the overall look and feel done, it was time to work on the little cubicles where my villagers would spend the rest of their lives. I have about 67 workspaces, so I would need about 67 sticky pistons, the idea being that I could lower each villager individually and have them be zombified one by one. Placing the pistons is one of the last things I needed to do to get the cubicles ready. So now I could finally focus on mass slavery, also known as giving the villagers jobs. I started out with librarians, since books are easy to come by and I could really use some good enchantments. This part took the longest because one of the mods added extra enchantments. I'm not sure about the numbers, but it seems the amount of enchantments is roughly double that of vanilla Minecraft. That means I need way more librarians than usual, and I will need to cycle traits more often to get a good one. Not to mention that I made a few mistakes and got stuck with a shitty trait, but those mistakes are easily fixed. So the next week I spent playing a game of Refresh the Librarian, which is the most tedious and boring game I know. I kept my sanity by decorating the hall a little bit between breaking lecterns. I also had to do a lot of googling to find out what the new enchantments actually do. Because there are so many, I might have missed a good one. But for now, I'm really tired of breaking all these lecterns. So I continued with adding more villagers and giving them different traits. This was so much quicker than messing with librarians. It was almost too easy. And I got some good traits too. Now I could trade wheat seeds and iron for emeralds. Meaning I would always have a steady supply of emeralds on hand. When I wasn't busy putting villagers in their holes and trading with them, I was fixing up the place. And since I'm not that far underground, I thought it would be cool to make a skylight in the middle that would close at night. So I built a skylight and a glass roof for it, but I couldn't get it to reliably open and close. The vanilla light sensors don't work properly when it rains. And the create mod clock, it didn't seem to give off a redstone signal, so no moving roof for now. I might revisit this later, because I really like the idea. When I finally had all the villagers in their holes, it was time to get the zombies into their places. I lured them close and I spleefed them to get them in. This went all pretty smoothly and no one died in the process. Wrangling the zombies went pretty well, and with all the villagers in the little cubicles, it was time to start converting a few villagers to lower the trading prices. I had enough golden apples to convert 6 librarians twice, for the lowest prices possible. So I got lucky with 3 out of 6 librarians, since they have the book trade where they sell 1 book for 1 emerald. Combine this with the bookshelf trade where you buy 1 bookshelf for 1 emerald, break the bookshelf with an axe and you get 3 books. So that's infinite free emeralds. All the while I did some thinking. I wasn't really happy with the ceiling, so I decided to change it up a bit. I played around a bit with different colors to match the style, and I eventually settled on using limestone. The off-white color fits perfectly with the rest of the hall. And that was it. My trading hall is finished. Not all the villagers have jobs, some are still humping a dirt block. I have to get them jobs quickly before they turn into a Minecraft version of a crypto bro living in his mom's basement. But since they are expendable, I can deal with that real easy. With all that out of the way, it's time to update my to-do list, since we finished a few goals today. So we've got the ore crusher done. The bulk storage has the basics done. It could do with an expansion sooner or later, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. And finally, piece de la resistance, the villager trading hall. Man, it feels so good to have it finally done. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it big time. With all this done, I'm gonna have a think about what my next build is gonna be. I've got a lot of options, but I'm quite partial to building an XP farm, since I'm lacking in that department. But on the other hand, I really like to build out the world a bit, want to give it some more character and tame the wilderness a bit. So let me know what you think I should focus on next. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye!